Hello everybody and welcome back again to Let's Play Horizon Zero Dawn. So we had a pretty important episode last time where we finally learned the truth about Project Zero Dawn, and I have a lot of thoughts about all these revelations that we got. So maybe, since we seem to be safe at the moment, I'm going to share some of my thoughts on that before I move on. Because obviously, these presentations that we've seen answered a number of my questions, but they also brought up a few new ones. I mean, first of all, it finally explained to us what Zero Dawn actually was, and kinda like I suspected, it wasn't like a super weapon to defeat the machines. Not primarily anyway. I mean, it was part of it, but first and foremost, it was a plan to preserve life for the future. And then there was a part of that program that was supposed to crack the override code and then shut down the machines. Which answers another one of my questions. If Zero Dawn wasn't like a super weapon, how did the corrupted machines got defeated in the end? So yeah, they were just shut down. So for a few decades, one of these sub-programs was calculating the code, and then they shut down the machines, and then they started to terraform the planet again. And that actually does answer another thing that I've been wondering about, namely the fact that there seems to be like zero continuity between our current civilization and all these different cultures that we see in this game. I mean, if Aloy and Denora and all the other people in this game are like the direct descendants of our civilization, or the apocalyptic survivors of our civilization, you would expect at least a little bit of familiar elements, you know, in culture or religion or language. I mean, language is a little bit tricky in this regard because obviously they are all speaking English, but that might be just for convenience so that we can understand them, you know, when playing this game. And Aloy, I guess she might be able to understand English because she can like understand all these presentations, but the focus may have taught her to do that, just like it taught her how to read. Then again, I do kind of remember that one of the Nora Matrix was able to understand the computer voice in the womb of the mountain. So yeah, I'm not sure. Maybe they actually all do speak English, or maybe there's another reason why everyone seems to be able to understand the English-speaking people from the metal world. Or maybe it's just a plot hole, I don't know. But overall, there isn't really much similarity in terms of culture. And I mean, this is set in North America, and you would assume that at the time of the apocalypse, pretty much everyone among the adult population was literate. So even if only a few of them survive, there should have been enough to actually write down what happened and pass down that knowledge and continue to teach children how to write and read, or to salvage some of the technology and use it again and just rebuild a bit quicker and a lot more like the culture and civilization that we are used to. But that didn't happen. What we are seeing here feels a lot more like a complete reset and not just like a continuation on a lower technological level. This isn't like the collapse of the Mecanian civilization, where we had like a small elite and maybe just a very few people who were actually able to write and read. So when the whole power structures and administration collapsed, then that writing system just got lost entirely. Not just because it got replaced by another one, I mean that happens all the time. It just got replaced by illiteracy. Nevertheless, a lot of the cultural aspects of the Mecanian civilization got passed on to the following civilizations. Like a lot of the gods were the same. The language was more or less the same. So you would expect the survivors of even an apocalypse like the one that may have happened on this planet, if there were survivors, they would have at least preserved a little bit of, you know, that shared culture if they were able to read and write and pass on that knowledge. So yeah, that explains certainly that mystery. But there are still some questions, specifically the question why the Gaia program apparently didn't fully finish all the different sub-programs. I mean, when I edited the previous episode, I had a chance to look at all the different programs and their symbols, and I mean, they're all named after Greek deities, except for one, which is a Roman deity for some reason. So I can kind of, guess what all their different functions were. So the very first program was Minerva, and that's like the only one that is named after a Roman goddess for some reason. But Minerva is essentially the Roman counterpart to Athena. So it's a goddess of strategic warfare, or in Minerva's case, more specifically, of defensive warfare. So I'm guessing the Minerva program was the one who calculated the override code and then shut down the machines. And after watching that presentation again, I noticed that apparently that giant spire we've seen all the time near Meridian is apparently like the tower that was used to send out the signal. So I'm guessing the tower may have another role in the future of this game for maybe a similar purpose. And then, I think the next step was HEPHAESTUS, so the god of the forge, for building all these robots to repair the planet. I'm guessing the cauldrons are basically these forges, so to speak. And then there was a program to clean up the air and a program to clean up the ocean, aptly named Poseidon. And then there was Demeter, goddess of vegetation and agriculture, to replant all the flora. And Artemis, goddess of the hunt, to repopulate the earth with animals. And then there was Elysium, I think, goddess of childbirth, to create a new human race. And up until that point, it seems everything worked perfectly, so that's pretty amazing. But the next program in line would have been Apollo. And apparently the purpose of Apollo was to make all the knowledge of the old world available to this new human race. And as far as I can tell, this should have happened like centuries of years ago already. According to the presentation, the recreation of humans should have happened 300 years after the apocalypse. So not really that long after everything had ended. But quite obviously, it has been centuries since then, and it doesn't look like humans ever got all the knowledge from the Apollo program. So yeah, something must have happened in between Elysia and Apollo. And then finally we have like the last program, which was Hades. And it's not very clear what Hades is supposed to do, but the Hades symbol looks suspiciously similar to a power button. Like a circle and a dash, it's just like turned upward, as opposed to, the symbol that we usually use on and off switches, just turned around 180 degrees. So in combination with the name of the program, Hades, god of the underworld, my guess is that maybe Hades was supposed to shut down the entire program. Once the planet is repaired, humans are reborn and they are armed with the knowledge of the old world and ready to go out and resettle the planet. Hades was supposed to shut down the entire Gaia program to make sure it doesn't interfere with anything anymore. And yeah, I guess that didn't happen either. As a matter of fact, I think maybe Hades is also supposed to shut down all the robots, like the quote-unquote good robots, the ones that are like repairing the planet. So once the ecosystem is able to sustain itself, these robots maybe they were supposed to be shut down afterwards. It would make sense because, these robots, they might not be as aggressive as corrupted machines, and they're not as catastrophically destructive as the Pharaoh robots, obviously. But they're still pretty damn dangerous. They attack humans on sight if you're just walking nearby, and they attack you unprovoked, and unless you're like a skilled hunter or warrior, they will kill you. That's a weird thing to do for machines whose purpose is to repopulate the Earth, right? So I'm guessing maybe they were supposed to be shut down once humans were ready to go and settle down on Earth again. And for some reason that didn't happen. So now the machines think that humans are some kind of disruptive influence that doesn't belong there, and that's why they attack them. Or maybe they are supposed to still be around. Maybe the ecosystem actually still needs them to do stuff, and they have to be there. So they attack humans to make sure that the stupid humans don't interrupt their necessary functions. But it seems more logical to me that the robots were supposed to be shut down at some point, and they wouldn't be a danger to humans anymore, and they wouldn't be needed anymore once the planet is completely repaired. So yeah, I guess something must have went wrong after the creation of the humans, because Apollo wasn't executed, and something went wrong with Hades, obviously. So I guess I will continue to explore this place, and maybe some of these questions will get answered as well. So yeah, let's just open the door over here and let's continue on our journey. Alright, we already have a new data point over here. Make your selection. Okay, this is one I have to read. You are now in possession of information regarding the true nature and purpose of Project Zero Dawn, classified far above top secret. As such, we regret that you cannot be allowed to leave this facility. There are 3 options available to you at this point. Please consider each carefully. Trained counselors are standing by to assist you in making your choice. Well, I'm very excited to see these choices. Participation. You will be assigned to a sub-project team based on your area of expertise. You should be aware that the way forward will be difficult and the project's outcome is uncertain. You will be expected to work a minimum of 80 hours per week, and your communications with family members will be strictly limited and monitored in real time. Upon successful completion of the project, you and your immediate family, or 2 persons of your choosing, will be transferred to the Elysium sealed habitat to live out the remainder of your natural lives. How long that might be. Indefinite detention. Should you choose to decline participation in Project Zero Dawn, you will be confined indefinitely. You will be given 48 hours to reconsider, after which your decision to refuse participation will be considered irrevocable. Every reasonable effort will be made to make your term of confinement as comfortable as possible, but you will not be permitted contact with the outside world, and death within 18 months due to the Pharaoh Plague is inevitable. When the Zero Dawn facility is abandoned, detainees who wish not to opt for medical euthanasia will be released. Okay. Medical euthanasia. The information you have just received is understandably calls into question the purpose of continuing to live. If you would prefer to end your life at this point, pain-free medical euthanasia is available. A 48-hour waiting period is required, during which time you may instead opt for participation or confinement. Please notify your counselor when you are ready to make your choice, or if you have further questions. Well, I have some questions about Elysium. I mean, it's very vague about the remainder of your natural life. That could just be like the same 18 months that we have here, you know, until the machines have taken over everything. Or did they actually expect that some people might be able to survive in Elysium for longer than that? I mean, that would be an interesting question. But yeah, let's continue. Where do I have to go here? I see more data points around. Another interview. Okay, let's listen.
Of course I'll do it. To be given the opportunity to rebuild what the damage that I don't feel worthy of it, but I will do it, absolutely.
I want to stress that this was never about your culpability.
It is to me. Dr. Sobek, Margot, they were smart to get out of Pharaoh when they did, but not one of us took it as a warning sign. It just told ourselves that we're cut out for the BTRI cabals. That's better than rapid innovation.
Duh.
Better at competing, better than the next guy, a better killing machine. It's just amazing how a century and a half of science fiction did nothing to swerve our species from the path of doom. I mean, I'm done with that life. I mean, I will work hard, twice as hard, to earn this, for my family to have a place in Elysium.
All right.
I never thought that there could be atonement.
Okay, so this guy apparently agreed to help for atonement and a place in Elysium. So let's have a look at the others as well. Okay, what was her reply?
If you're still nauseous.
No, the inhibitors have kicked in. I can't feel the back of my tongue. I wish I could tell you I'd believe in this, but the damage is too great, too extensive, too complete. With all respect to Dr. Sobek's work at Miriam, no. No, life doesn't always find a way to keep going. Sometimes it never comes back. Like Syzygy East. Like the Congo. Like Timor. Like us. That's our reward? A buried city full of terminal patients waiting out the clock?
You'd grow old together, with your loved ones, in safety.
I don't have loved ones. I suppose I could start a family?
I'm afraid not. All inhabitants of Elysium will be medically sterilized.
Ah, interesting.
A habitat capable of sustaining a starting base of 2,000 individuals for up to 100 years is a huge challenge, Dr. Alpert. If the population grows instead of diminishes, everyone will be dead inside 30 years.
I knew it. I just couldn't bring myself to say the words.
I'm sorry.
Finish it. Medical euthanasia. I want no part of this. I just want it over.
I see. Protocols require a 48-hour waiting period, after which...
Okay, apparently she didn't want to help the project. But yeah, apparently some of them did survive in Elysium, at least for like 100 years. And then I guess their supplies ran out, since the full like reconstruction of the Earth didn't finish until like 300. Of course, it's interesting that they wouldn't try to, you know, control the population in Elysium and, you know, survive at least like 300 years, because like I said, according to the presentation, 300 years after the apocalypse, the Earth would have been rebuilt already if, you know, everything goes according to plan. So if they could survive for 100 years, was it really so unrealistic to have like a small population survive for like 300 years? I don't know. Anyway, let's keep on listening.
Is he to make sure I behave this time?
Security, for your protection. Would you like to discuss how you're feeling?
Sure. I'll tell you. Surprised. No, flabbergasted. Like my own man would say, flabbergasted. That vein pumping in his forehead. I thought you people were just completely underprepared for a spaceflight project. But now I can see it's worse. Much worse. Sobek is a total fantasist, a dangerous fantasist. This kind of blue skying, it's... Jesus. I'm sorry we wasted each other's time. I'm ready to leave now.
I'm afraid that's not possible.
Everything you're talking about here isn't possible.
I recommend you read the documents regarding your options.
I've seen enough. I'm getting out of here. What did you... You don't... Get your hands off me!
Well, I guess he also decided not to help. So maybe he was one of those who got detained indefinitely. Anyway,
Alert.
I'm not...
Medical wing inaccessible.
I'm not seeing any more data points, but I would like to see what's going on here. Might be inaccessible, but I can most certainly access it, at least to some extent. Oh, what is this? Stranded shackles. Oh, I guess they used it to restrain some of their candidates. Interesting. Sure, I guess I'll take it. Maybe I will find some use for it. I mean, this over here is nothing I can interact with, right? And this seems to be a dead end as well. Okay. Well, in that case, let's just return to our quest marker. And find a way deeper into the facility, maybe. Okay, but I can see like another data point somewhere around here. Okay, here we go. Okay, more guidelines. For debriefing after presentation 2, it is vitally important that candidates choose to participate in Project Zero Dawn voluntarily and knowingly, without additional coercion and without value judgment on the part of the counselor. Yes, I can see that. I mean, if they don't participate voluntarily, they might try to sabotage the project, and it's a bit too important for that. Confirm for candidates that they were selected due to their skill sets and accomplishments. Emphasize that their dedication and participation in Zero Dawn will increase the project's chances of success. Frame participation in Zero Dawn as an opportunity to respond actively in the face of an overwhelming threat. Candidates may question the fairness of their selection, validate such objections as normal, even admirable responses. Emphasize the value of candidates' expertise to the future, not just humanity, but terrestrial life as a whole. Likewise, candidates may bark at the morality of extending their lifespans and those loved ones beyond 0 day. Validate their hesitation, acknowledge that while the reward of Elysium is not fair, it will be earned. If possible, redirect the ethical misgivings towards greater commitment to the project. Of course, it's an interesting question whether Elysium actually exists or whether they just set it up as like a reward or like a silver lining for people participating in the project to motivate them a little bit more. Maybe Elysium doesn't actually exist. When candidates challenge the plausibility of Project Zero Dawn, permit them to review Dr. Sobek's presentation as many times as they wish and allow access to supplemental articles. GO1 through P20. Allow them to suspend the interview to fully process this documentation. A significant minority of candidates will elect for medical euthanasia. It is important to receive the decision kindly and without judgment. Advise them of the 48-hour waiting period during which counselors will be available to discuss their decision. Emphasize that euthanasia will not occur without repeated consent when the procedure is scheduled to take place. No one will be euthanized against her or his will. Candidates who elect indefinite detention must be informed that they have 48 hours to reverse their decision, after which the decision, data corrupted. I mean, couldn't they still decide for euthanasia later when they got sick of the detention? But whatever. Let's just keep going. Alright, I can already see some more data points, but no enemies so far.
Get her!
Well,
Whatever you do, don't die now.
so much for no enemies. Oh well, these enemies have all some pretty big guns. Let me take some cover inside this room over here. Alright.
Crush the enemy.
You are dead. And your aim is not the best, is it? Your weapon doesn't seem to be very precise, if I may say so. I mean, now it hit me, but it seems to be mostly based on chance. Oh, now you're over here. Okay. Interesting. Huh. I thought there was like at least one more. Okay, apparently I got them all. Okay. So, let me replenish my supplies a little bit and then I will continue to look at more data pads. Like this one. Okay, I can listen to this one.
Zero Dawn. It is art, in a way. An expression on the grandest scale. But there is so much unfairness. Why was I chosen? Was it decided by committee? By algorithm? My family will be saved because I happen to graduate in art history? Is this right?
Dr. Sauvé? Christina Sauvé?
Yes. I met a man, another historian. His fields are Bauhaus and the New Materialists. But he once attended one of my talks. Another unfair chance. Of all the many people in that auditorium, that we should both be here now. And yet, I feel more accepting of my fate. No, it is not fair, not at all. But for the sake of my family, for the sake of art. Art is alive. It must be able to speak from beyond history and echo in the future, not perish into oblivion. This opportunity, I must do this.
Alright, apparently they recruited a pretty wide variety of scientists and learned people. Okay, another one we can listen to.
Now, those lame FBI black hats at Mockingbird back in the day, I enjoyed schooling them. But maybe I went in too hard on this poor counselor. She was cute, and just going down a checklist after all. Couldn't expect her to see how ridiculous Zero D's ambitions are. God's own budget thrown at a kid playing with a hologram sculptor? Palms up, honey. I'm just calling it like it is. Hey, look, Mom, I'm making nature. Now, if nature is so important, why not let nature take its course? Extinction? That's natural. Zero Dawn? No, ma'am, that ain't. Heck, it's so unnatural it'd be called an abomination back home, and you know it. That's why you're hiding it. Meanwhile, my little honey of a counselor, she's munching the inside of her cheek. Bad habit. She chewed one of her nails, too, just one. Not your day, was it, little sweet pea? Saw her quota slipping away. Said, I assume you intend to decline the assignment, Mr. Tate. You kidding me? 18 months hard labor in exchange for 30 years lounging around Elysium watching porn? Sign me up.
Well, I mean, his motives for joining seem a little bit questionable.
Should have brought a cart.
And I'm guessing all the people that made it to this room are actually those people who accepted. Let's see, there must be a data point somewhere around here. Yep, here we go. Tom Peach, yeah, that's another one of the people
I hashed it out with them,
before.
what the point of Artemis was. I made it clear I wasn't on board for a global zoo. We haven't exactly proved ourselves to be great custodians in the past few thousand years. So the idea of a reconstituted biosphere, well, it's horrifying, isn't it? A complete horror show. We have no right to take a best guess at this stuff. But the alternative? Nothingness. For there to have been all this and then nothing. And with Charles Ronson running the show, I respect him. He's got a passion to him. He's hot-blooded. So I said I'll do it. I'll put my all into this, literally. When the project is done, I'll take the medical option, thank you. Counselor said I might change my mind. I told him that he didn't know me very well then. For life's sake, I'll do the dirty work. But I want no part of this pathetic, attenuated future on offer. I'm an outdoors man. Never did like the feel of solid-state lighting on my skin. And a wee bit of a claustrophobe, anyway.
Okay, so he agreed to help, but he didn't want to go to Elysium afterwards. Okay, but well, at least he decided to help preserve life before he takes his own.
Power's down.
Is there another route?
I've done this before. Just need my focus.
Yeah, I don't want to pick up the weapon. I just want to pick up the loot. Can I just put you down here, please? Okay, here we go. Now, have I picked up all the data points around here? Yes, I think I have. We have a door that is not open for business at the moment.
Never know when I might need these.
So I need to restore the power. Right, let's do it. Oh, here's another door that's not open for business.
Here we go. Another one of these. Need to find the right configuration.
Let's see. Do we have... Oh, okay. Well, this is different. They're all like slightly different. Left, up, left, down, right. Left, down, and right.
Done. I should check the door nearby.
Okay, apparently that helped. But we have another data pit.
Hey, I'm done with Brett's incompetence, okay? Somehow, he managed to install an H-emitter node backwards. Everything's in reverse. I don't get paid to clean up Brett's messes. If you want it fixed, send him up to storage for a new emitter, not me. Parker out.
Okay. Not sure what that was all about. Okay, but this seems to be a dead end. So let's return... Oh, hang on a second. There's like another puzzle over here. Setting transposed. Huh. I mean, this may have something to do with this data pit over here.
I'm done with Brett's incompetence, okay? Somehow, he managed to install an H-emitter node backwards. Everything's in reverse. I don't get paid to clean up Brett's messes. If you want it fixed, send him up to storage for a new emitter, not me.
I see.
Parker out.
There's a part missing. Maybe there's a storage area nearby.
Right, so I have to solve this puzzle as well. Okay, this one opened the door over here. And I might be able to find the item I'm looking for. Let's see if my focus is of any help. Not really. Doesn't seem to be anything of interest in this place as far as I can tell. Okay, well, in that case, I may want to go and check out my quest first. I mean, I have numerous quest markers now. Restore power to the door, and then there's like one over here. Huh. I mean, this might be like an optional task. Yeah, this is the one that goes back to the door that I need to open. And this one goes to this door. So I have to find a way to repair the other lock. Oh, there's I see. Okay. So there's something going on here after all. There we go.
Found one. Looks intact.
No, I can just drop down here? Yes, I can. So, I guess I have to put it into this socket.
That should do the trick. Now let's get that door open.
Now presumably the stuff is reversed, so I have to do it like opposite of what the display tells me to, right? So this one has to go right, and then we have up, left, and down. Up, left, and down. Well, that didn't work. Maybe I'm overthinking it. Maybe it actually is exactly as the image tells me to. So we gotta change it all by 180 degrees. Oh, I made some mistake. Right. And up. Nope, that's still not working. Well, let's listen to this again.
Hey, I'm done with Brett's incompetence, okay? Somehow, he managed to install an H-emitter node backwards. Everything's in reverse. I don't get paid to clean up Brett's messes. If you want it fixed, send him up to storage for a new emitter, not me. Parker out.
I mean, I can see it, like the Faro is wrong as well. So it is in reverse. Well, I may have put one in the wrong spot anyway. Let's be sure about this. So up, this is down, this is left, this goes to the right. Next one is going down here, so it has to go up here. And this one is going to the right, so it has to go to the left here. And finally we have one that goes up, so it has to go down here. Well, but it still doesn't work. So, what do they mean when they say it's in reverse? Is it like mirrored maybe? I mean, the Faro is clearly upside down, so the up arrows should go down, right? And it's not just a case of left and right being reversed. Now, if it was mirrored, okay, then it would just be the left and right that's wrong, and up and down would still be correct. But, well, maybe it's like mirrored and switched upside down. I guess that's something I can try. Okay, so the up and down should be the way they are currently, but I'm going to change the left and right again.
That did it.
Okay.
Door should have power.
So that was
Now
a
to see
problem.
what lies beyond it.
Okay, let's go. Well, how did they get inside here? Seriously.
Eclipse. They're here.
I had to solve all
Avoid
these
contact.
puzzles and they didn't.
Lines look good.
Gaia. It's up there. Second floor.
Can you reach it?
So much for avoiding contact.
Alright, I guess I'm supposed to kill these guys now. Let's do it. There we go, and we've got another guy over here. And yep, you're using like bombs. I've noticed that. Oh, wow. Well, I didn't expect that. I guess we will have to do this again. And be a little bit more careful this time.
You're in!
Alright. I mean, they're all carrying like these little tanks, so I might be able to just make them explode, right? But maybe I shouldn't be doing this while they're like right next to me. Okay, yeah, it does help to make them explode. Alright. There we go. That worked better, but oh, we still have more of them. And these guys do not have like tanks, so I guess using the fire is not going to help me here. Oh boy, there's a lot more Eclipse than I thought there would be, so let me find a place to take some cover here. Alright. Can kinda see this guy over here now. Alright, and there's one on top of this place. And it seems like the rest has kinda lost
No
me.
one disappears when
I can barely see your face, but funny enough to actually shoot you. I'm really just using like the health bar as an indication to where to find them.
Gaia punch me!
Alright, I need a better line of sight for this guy. Okay, here we go.
That's the last of them.
Okay.
HVAC structural failure. Repeat.
Or not.
Okay, well, it's not the last of them. And yeah, I'm going to need some cover. Oh no! Don't jump over your cover, Aloy. Oh boy, I need better cover than this. Let's go back here maybe. That worked out well the last time. Okay. Let's find our targets again.
You see anything?
Alright. Let's go for the guy with the big gun first. Oh, you have a big gun as well. Okay, in that case, you've got to die quickly too. Alright. Where are you? Okay, here we go.
Room's clear. For a moment, anyway.
Then get moving. You have to find Gaia.
Okay, maybe I'm just going to skip looting all the bodies now. Don't really need that stuff that urgently anyway. Let's just keep moving.
Hello, I'm Margot Shen, and this is HEPHAESTUS. As the name might tip you off, this is going to be the subordinate function that Gaia will use to make lots and lots of robots. Her personal forge. Except, it's not that simple. So you probably noticed that only about a third of you are robotics engineers. The rest, experts in machine cognition, virtual heuristics, that stuff. Well, that's because we aren't going to be the ones designing and building robots. The last thing we want is to burden Gaia with a bunch of outmoded 21st century designs. Waste of time. Our purpose is to empower Gaia to build the robots, and not just build, imagine, from scratch. Any robot she needs for any conceivable purpose, designed and fabricated at a snap of a finger. Hers. Her finger. So, Hephaestus isn't really the forge. It's more like the knowledge of craft and ingenuity of a mastersmith to wield the hammer. Encoded as software. Virtual creativity made real. Gaia's already learning. In simulation, she's doing some very creative things with fractal assembly and animal morphologies. Her designs aren't about to win the Liam Prize anytime soon, but hey, everyone has to start somewhere. So, yes, time to get started. Let's do this.
I don't get it.
Which part? It's a little technical in places.
If Gaia was designed to save life, why would the robots it makes attack people?
Perhaps it loves some forms of life more than others.
The derangement. The machines weren't always so angry.
True. Mostly they were docile until 10, 15 years ago.
For years, HEPHAESTUS has been forcing cauldrons to make aggressive machines. I've seen it myself, in the cauldrons. Stalkers, Ravagers, a Thunderjaw. How could it do that? And why?
Why indeed?
Okay, so you think the machines were actually used to be docile and it wasn't until recently that they became aggressive. And not just like the corrupted machines, but the normal ones as well. Okay, anyway, we have a few more data pads around here. Full steam ahead. Margot, if I doubted your brilliance in the slightest, I wouldn't have picked you as the HEPHAESTUS Alpha. You need to stop worrying about your age and communication style. You are who you are. Have confidence in yourself. You know what you're doing. Case in point, the latest draft of your plan for the construction and stocking of bootstrap silos to store raw materials is excellent. This, combined with your design for the AM Foundry core and the Foundry site selection plan, add up to a comprehensive plan. It's time to start construction. One detail, consult with Ayumide or Kilo before you finalize the silo inventories. HEPHAESTUS' first task will be to fabricate the robot that will construct waveform broadcast towers Minerva will use to transmit the deactivation codes. Okay, Minerva was the one that was responsible for shutting down the machines. Okay. So any exotic materials needed for the towers should be accounted for in the inventory plan. Okay, so it's starting to make sense and all the different programs get explained to me. Okay, we have like one more data pad over here. Simulation results. From Margot Shan to Elisabeth Sobek. Wow, you weren't kidding about Gaia's predilection for animal morphologies. Sure, not totally unexpected given the rough natural terrain her bots will have to navigate. But I agree that there's something deeper going on here. Her designs aren't just functional. They feel almost, well, like tributes is the word that comes to mind. As though she's already mourning their loss. And not just for the disappearing fauna of our time, but creatures from the fossil record too. References to megafauna in some of her designs. So cool. Well, whatever Gaia thinks up, HEPHAESTUS will empower her to build it. I just wish we could still be around in a century or two to see what she makes. Okay, so it was basically that AI Gaia who built all these animal-like machines. Fascinating. I mean, they obviously did preserve some animals, like we have rabbits and boars. But I noticed an interesting lack of any kind of predator animals in this world. So maybe they didn't...
I've seen these shapes before. In cauldrons.
But of course, the birthing places of Gaia's machines.
Right. Yeah, that's where they were planning them. But yeah, I wonder if they also, like, preserved predator animals, because I haven't seen any in this game so far. Okay, we can go up. Is there anything going on down here? Not really. And there's another data pad. Or is this one we've already seen? Probably not, but I can't reach it from here, apparently. Whoops, and now I'm back down again. Okay, this is not where I need to be. Let's try this again. But yeah, I guess I have to be actually inside that room to be able to read it.
I think this is it. Elizabeth Sobek's office. But
Okay.
it's sealed off. There's got to be a way inside.
Keep looking.
More Eclipse.
Careful now.
Oh great, there's actually quite a few of them. Well, I'm not sure where the last autosave was, but I hope there was one not too far away, because the episode is getting very long and this might take a while to dispose of the Eclipse people. So I'm going to make a cut here and we will continue this in the next episode. So as always, thank you for watching and see you again next time.